Welcome back to Season 5 of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Next Generation rewatch and recap podcast. I'm Adam Ordall-Quinnell, and I am here as always with my co-host...
Hey everybody, it's Al Hirt. What's up?
Mr. Al Hirt, what's up, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a minute.
Yeah,
the holidays were good.
Yeah, I didn't ask yet, but I'm glad that you offered that information. That's great. I was curious as to how your holidays were. And you moved from Los Angeles to San Diego.
Yes.
So we're recording these remote now, but I don't think that's going to be a huge deal for our listeners. It should still sound pretty good. We figured some stuff out. The covering of the episodes is going to be a little bit different going forward because I'm just going to end up reading a summary. I'm going to create my own little beat by beat episode summary and walk you through it and talk about the episodes. And before all of that, how are things?
Things are good, man. I mean, moving here was interesting. It was a little rough, but we got it done. It was just raining. Like the U-Haul got wet inside.
Oh no, did your shit get wet?
No, thankfully. I mean, we had spent a couple of minutes just like mopping and shit. And I did get lost on the way. And like the charger thing wasn't working inside the car. And so then, or the U-Haul. So I just kind of banked it on memory. And I was like, okay, I know it's 34. And then this.
To get from Los Angeles to San Diego, or to get from
LA to San Diego.
But then like, so you had to get to your actual apartment from memory too, or
no. It was at the very end. So like I was on the highway, maybe a couple exits away, and I tried, dude, do you know how crazy it is? It's just walking around a mall, like trying to look for a charger. People look at you like you're a lunatic.
Yeah, which is fucked up because it's a very common
right?
thing that happens to everybody.
It's like, hey, I just need the charge for 5 minutes. I walked up to this bar and I was like, do you have any seats next to like electrical outlets? And she's like, let me check.
I need to charge my phone.
Yeah. I'm rigging this bomb up.
Yeah, right. I want to do domestic terrorism. Isn't it funny how domestic violence and domestic terrorism are two like totally different things? Like domestic violence is when you are violent with your partner or spouse, but domestic terrorism is when like somebody does terrorism to the United States and they're a person from the United States. It just seems like a bit of an escalation. But so that's good. I'm glad you made it. How did you end up getting your phone charged? Where did you end up charging your phone?
Oh, actually, no. I think let it die. And then once I got to the apartment, I charged it immediately.
Oh, but it took
like 40 minutes.
You made it to the apartment.
Thank God. Yeah. But I vaguely remembered where the exits and the streets were.
That's good. Yeah. And that stuff's pretty straightforward, I'm sure. Down there. Oh my gosh,
San Diego's like, it's so calm and everything's 10 minutes away and it's pretty convenient.
Yeah, I bet, man. I bet. And also big news, you got engaged, right? Congratulations.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so how long had you been planning that?
For about 2-3 months.
Right on.
Like just the whole proposal and setting it up and all that.
You did a big thing?
No, it wasn't like too big. It was just more of like trying to find the right moment. But given, moving, raining, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities in there. Seems like times when you'll be around family and shit. Yeah.
But it's like I wanted it to be intimate and then just us, but then something nice. It was good though.
What'd you do?
Just went to Sunset Cliffs and just popped the question there after the sunset. It was nice.
Cool. Well, good.
It was like nice and calm. And I was like, I want to do this for like the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, good. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, how about you though, Adam? How's your holidays?
It was fine. It's been long. My ribs are still healing, which sucks because I haven't played disc golf in like 5 weeks because that's what was keeping my ribs broken.
Yeah.
So I've been dealing with that and just working on the other podcast. We got that. We started releasing that right before the holidays, basically. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Getting ready to start booking stand-up, hopefully, for spring and fall of this year. I got a Southwest gift card at my office Christmas party. And
nice.
So I'm going to, I can book stand-up that's far away and I won't have to pay to travel there. So
perfect.
Yeah, I might actually get some shit done. But yeah, so not much. Brittany, my wife and the cats were all good. The holidays were good. Did you guys end up adopting a second cat?
No, we're still on the fence.
Right on. Well, it's like you have
but
one.
But we do have the space now, so
might
that's
as
good.
well have two. But yeah, so cool, man. Yeah, it's great catching up. And that brings us to our first segment of the show. Captain. Oh, wait, no, I pressed the wrong button. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
What does Al remember? So it's called What Does Al Remember? And it's fucked up that I can't just have I'm going to have to invest in some fucking stupid thing like StreamYard or something where you can hear my audio because
it's just
like
some routing shit.
Well, that's just, dude, I've been trying to figure it out. It should be as simple, and it's stupid because it should already be doing it because I have the input selected for Zoom as what's coming out of the universal audio, the volt, right? So it should play like when I do you should hear the theme, I would imagine, but it's just doing my voice because I think that it's actually just taking the one channel.
Yeah, and it can't take two? Or?
Yeah, it's
Maybe
Zoom, so probably not. It's Zoom, so probably not. It's the fucking... It's just how Zoom is set up. I need Stream Deck or StreamYard or one of those fucking streamer shits or something. Anyway, this segment is called What Does Al Remember? It's where I give Al a little quiz about one of the many fantastic episodes of Star Trek that we have covered in the past. We often what the fuck am I looking at here? Wait a second. Did you know that there's what the hell? I'm looking at Star Trek Memory Alpha and I'm just seeing all kinds of fucking weird shit. What the hell is Star Trek Con? Scripted audio drama. Meh. Okay. Anyway, I am going to ask you about the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 18, Coming of Age. What does Al remember about Coming of Age? Oh, Jesus. I didn't realize it was going to... I'm really going to have to cut that silence down. So I'll give you a hint.
Here, yeah.
So let's say you hear the words Coming of Age. What character do you think would be central to the plot?
What's his name? The really annoying one, Wesley.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm asking you what his name is. Yes, so Wesley, it's a Wesley. And what did he do in the first season?
He helped that alien with, what is it? The issue with the Enterprise getting too fast.
No, it's not that one. It's not the Traveler.
It's the one when he takes over the Enterprise.
No, it's not the one where he uses Picard's voice model, Picard's AI voice to take over the Enterprise.
That was when they were all sweaty or whatever.
They were very sweaty, yes. Good memory for the sweatiness of the crew.
Was this one... No, that was another time when he runs into the fence.
What if I
and,
told
like,
you
he gets threatened?
What if I told you that Wesley had to take some sort of exam?
Oh, the exam, yeah.
Okay, so now that you know that it's about the exam, I'm sure that's
this.
jogged your memory and you remember everything about the episode. So what happened in Coming of Age?
Absolutely everything.
Oh no, I want
it's
beat
just
by
kind
beat.
of
This segment's an hour now in the new format.
It's just a big episode. I guess it's kind of like, what is it? World building.
It's definitely
About
character
how-
building, yes, and world building.
Well, yeah,
You're
character
correct.
building, and we learn more about how the academy kind of works.
Yeah.
And it's this really weird test that only one person can get in to the specific like cadet academy
Yeah, so it's like
by taking this test.
one cadet from each ship. From
it's like
I believe
5?
from these ships, and there's like 4 or 5 of them. Yes,
Yeah.
and
And then I guess like the whole time they're hyping up this like psychological test at the end, and it's like meant to build terror in you, and like you as the audience are just supposed to be really nervous for Wesley, but it's more of like a morality thing, and it just kind of gets at the dark at the end because what was it? Wesley realizes that like his psych training was something that his father went through, and like maybe that's how his dad died.
well, yeah, he in the psychological
like that
training,
decision.
he realizes that yes, his dad's life may have been somebody had to decide between somebody's life and his dad's life potentially, and he had to experience that decision because it was like a burning room, and there was one guy that was easy to grab but he was under a thing, and then the other guy was like, I'm scared, oh my god.
Yeah, and he couldn't
Wesley
move.
Wesley had to decide to leave the scared guys so that he could save the hurt guy. And then they all walk out of the room afterwards like, that was just a test, I'm a Starfleet actor.
Yeah, and it was cool how like the test was just kind of more or less a surprise, right? It wasn't really.
Yeah, they just kind of sprung it on him. He woke up and like shit was going down.
No, and then one of the other tests was kind of not BS, but it seemed really silly when that random alien bumps into him in the hallway, and he's like acting all angry.
Yeah,
He's like, well, see, it's because this guy had rigid forehead.
yeah. So they set up a social test where
social
Wesley
test.
and this blue alien guy, who I still posit looks more like a Star Wars alien than a Star Trek alien. He's like, I wouldn't have done that good with another alien. And Wesley's like, oh, I see all kinds of other aliens on the website, or on the Enterprise.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like every time we see Wesley interact with Starfleet or Star Academy or whatever, it just seems to be more like, oh, he should just stay on the Enterprise, which leads to us to this episode too as well.
Absolutely. Now,
I'm not sure. Like,
I'm not going to let
what
you.
was the point of Coming of Age?
I'm not going to let you off the hook with Coming of Age yet. So I like
was
how you
gonna
tried
say,
to
what's
segue.
the point?
You like to you wanted to try and segue away from it. I get it. I get it. But so, because I want to know if you remember anything, because that's what's happening on the Starfleet base, right? Or they're doing the Starfleet exam test, which is weird because Wesley like beams down to this starbase or whatever to do the thing, and then he like goes back to the ship at night. Like he goes to do his daily testing, and then he like just goes back to the ship, which I guess is fine. You just beam up and beam out, but we
have good interactions.
So that's what happened on the planet or on the space station for the test. Do you remember what was going on the Enterprise itself during that time?
No.
Yeah, that's okay. It's fairly forgettable. It's Remick. Admiral Gregory Quinn beams aboard with Commander Remick, and as we know, do you remember what Remick's deal was?
Yeah, he was the one that was, I guess, just doing a quality check throughout the whole Enterprise.
Well, yeah, but he's the bug king at the end. He's the parasite king at the end of the conspiracy episode.
And I remember being excited for his character because I thought like something significance would come out of it, especially at the end of the episode when he's like, end of the episode when he's like, oh, hey, I do want to work for the Enterprise. Gonna get a transfer at the end of this. And I was excited. But
that's right.
yeah,
Remick.
He gets some weird.
But now that we think about it, right, he was actually he wanted to get on the flagship because he's the bug king, man. He's like, you guys don't understand. We come in peace. I got a lot of bugs. I got a lot of bugs under my skin.
Yeah,
I got a
seriously.
bug I ate a bug and it went in my throat.
That was it though, huh?
And yeah, so
they were just getting expected because, that's right. They were trying to set up like some big overreaching plot and it never really got anywhere.
Yeah, Admiral Quinn is like, hey, I think there might be a conspiracy within Starfleet. And anyway, good job, Al. I'm going to play the exit music for the segment now. That's what Al remembered.
It's an interesting title, Coming of Age.
Yeah. It's not coming. Okay. So this week we are discussing season 2. First off, I'm counting. I did a little very special message from Adam where I was like, hey, we're going to take a couple weeks off. We'll be back. Mm-hmm. So fucking stupid Podbean counts that as episode 146. So this is episode 147 of Trek in the Valley, and it's season 2, episode 1 of Star Trek: The Next Generation. This episode is titled "The Child." It was it premiered on November 21st, 1988. So fucking 70 years ago. It was written by Jaron Summers, fake name, and John Pavel, and it was directed by Rob Bowman, one of the all-star Next Generation directors. And the synopsis from Paramount Plus is, while preparing to transport a deadly plague to a research lab, the crew is stunned by the announcement of Commander Troi's pregnancy. Captain Picard and so there you go. While preparing, I had the previous thing in there. While preparing to transport a deadly plague to a research lab, the crew is stunned by the announcement of Counselor Troi's pregnancy. I would find that quite stunning as well, wouldn't you? Especially if you're one Mr. Commander Riker, who's like, we've only done hand stuff. He really has a big, like, the look on his face when she said he's pregnant. It's a mixture, or when she says she's pregnant, it's a mixture of, we've only done hand stuff and who's the father if it's not me. Like, you can tell he's both jealous and nervous. He's like, I didn't think you could get pregnant the way that we did it. And so basically this episode begins as we said, we're talking about a plague. The Enterprise, basically their whole deal is they drive plagues and plague cures back and forth across the galaxy. That's essentially what it just doesn't feel like a regular day on the Enterprise if you're not, transporting a deadly plague or some sort of life-saving vaccine. And
I was thinking of Q being like, God, who doesn't need to be saved right now? Like, they can wait a second.
And so they are preparing to Geordi and Riker and Picard are all chit-chatting about how Riker did the Riker where he lifted his leg over a chair when he came into the meeting. And so Geordi is basically showing them his design for this thing. And if you want to press play on yours and just kind of pause it when you think I'm pausing it or whatever, it fucking couldn't hurt. And so they're talking about this holding cell that they're making for, it's basically like the ghost trap from Ghostbusters, except it's for plague samples. And
they're trying to transport it safely so they don't get this plague.
Yes.
And they're trying to find an antidote, right? To some science space.
The samples will help them find the cure for the plague. And also, we learn in this scene two big things about this scene. We find out that Geordi is now the chief engineer. And let's hope he sticks around. Unlike it seems like they had a different chief engineer every episode last fucking season.
Yeah, seriously.
And then we see the other good thing about this scene is we see an awesome HD remastered 3D effect of the floating containment area being holographically represented on Picard's desk, and then Geordi's like, we gotta move power from the engines to the replicator so that we can replicate all the shit for this.
Yeah, that's the catch. Thing. And then what is it? Picard's like, how long are we on impulse? And what is it? Jordan's like, yeah, a couple hours. It can't be helped.
Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta do it. We gotta replicate all these parts. And then we see a glowing light enter the Enterprise from outer space. And we see it flying through outer space. Then we see the glowing light in the hallway, and it zips past a couple of crewmen who are like, did you hear a glowing light behind us? And they're like, no, it's not there anymore. And then
and they both just like shrug and move on.
The glowing light goes, oh, I totally missed this part the first time. The glowing light goes and examines a man, and it's like, not into it.
No,
and then it goes like, into it, and then it slowly enters another room, and this room has a plant in it or a flower or something, so this must be the room of a lady. And then this glowing light goes under the sequin covers, first off, kind of gaudy sequin covers, slowly. And it's just going slowly up, and then, there's a person in this bed, and it's Deanna Troi, and she looks like she's having sex in a dream. It's like in another Ghostbusters reference. I got Ghostbusters on the brain. It's like in Ghostbusters when Ray gets the BJ from the ghost. It's like that. And she's like, and the captioning is even like heavy breathing and stuff. It's very gross. And she wakes up and she's like, I think that I'm pregnant now.
It's really strange.
We cut to commercial. We cut to the opening sequence. And now, one of the big things that jumped out at me after we get the child title card is it says that the guest starring Seymour Cassel. And Seymour Cassel is an incredibly famous character actor. He's been in all kinds of great shit. He was in a bunch of the best Wes Anderson movies. He's awesome. And so when he turned up in a Starfleet uniform as the scientist ushering this plague, I thought it was pretty great.
He stood out so hard.
Right? He's like, I'm from the 1950s. I'm a mechanic. I'm an old mechanic from the 1950s.
Well, it's nice to see that, like, not every older Starfleet engineer is just like an admiral with a bunch of stars.
Yeah, he's like, this is where I want to be, studying plagues. And
it's like the meteorologist that gets buried.
Right? Yes, absolutely. And so now. We find out that there's a new doctor on board because Picard got a list of all the plague samples and he needs the new doctor to review it, right? And he goes, hey, where's the new doctor? And the computer's like, she's in 10 forward. And Riker's like, only been on board a few hours and she's already found the fucking bar, eh? And Picard is like,
Picard says it out loud, but it's like they all look incredibly concerned, like she just fucking murdered somebody.
Yeah, really.
It's like she's just trying to hang out.
What if she's literally getting lunch? Like that's also
right?
10
like,
forward.
She's in the break room.
I'm just Oh, this is her first day, and she's already fucking around in the break room. And this is where we get confirmation that Picard is still weird around Wesley because he gets in the turbo lift with Picard, and he's like, "Hey, Captain, so I have to leave the ship to go to the academy, and I'm just, kind of sad about it. And Picard is like, I'm sorry that this is going to delay your reunion with your mother, because his mom is now the head of Starfleet Medical. Beverly Crusher got an upgrade. And I'm sure that Starfleet Medical is in San Francisco, where the Academy is, right? And he's like, hey, it's going to give me time to finish some of my projects that I have to do. Wesley's always got his projects. He's got various voice replicators, various ways to take over the ship, ways to interact with the Traveler. He's like, I've been working on my Being the Chosen One project. And then Picard is like, it's always hard leaving any ship. And he goes, but the Enterprise isn't any ship. And he's like, oh, don't I fucking know it. And then Picard comes into 10 Forward. He asks Whoopi Goldberg from The View, have you seen the new Doctor? And Picard walks over there, and he's going to... I think so, yeah. Because I don't think we saw her in the first season, right?
Divides the first season from the second is 10 Forward and Pulaski and
Whoopi.
Just the addition of those two things, and people are
They didn't go to 10 Forward in the first season?
I don't think there was a 10 Forward in the first season.
Intrepid listeners, email us, trekinthevalley@gmail.com. Be the first to tell us that we were wrong. So, because I agree with you, this is all new. And Picard walks over to Pulaski, and you could tell he's gonna be like, I gotta set the tone on the first day with this piece of shit drunk fucking layabout. And he comes around the corner, and Pulaski gets up and goes, Captain Picard, and he goes, Doctor, protocol may have been lax on your last assignment, but on the Enterprise she goes, sit down, Captain, you better listen to this. Reverse shot of Deanna Troi looking very sad. Cut to head officers or a staff meeting where
I love it.
This is fucked.
It's great. He just goes immediately to the senior staff meeting because he
goes, Counselor Deanna Troi
and
so Troi is sitting far apart from all of them, right? She's got several seats between her and everybody else, and Picard, sparing no time, says, Counselor Troi is pregnant, and Riker's like, excuse me, we've only done hand stuff. We covered that earlier. This is a surprise, he says.
Angry and jealous and just like, that's a surprise to me.
And then Pulaski brings up a picture of the fetus, an ultrasound.
She's done 2 exams.
She says, I did 2 exams, and the Betazoids usually are pregnant for 10 months. And in the last 2 hours, it's gestated a lot. Like it's like she's been pregnant for 6 months already. And then he says, Riker says, not to be indelicate, Deanna, but who's the father? And she says, last night while I slept, something which I can only describe as a presence. What did she say? As a presence entered my body.
Entered my body, yeah.
That is not. There's absolutely nothing consensual
just
about.
Describes rape,
and
sexual assault.
Describes space sexual assault. Content warning for this episode. And
seriously, it's fucked.
This is when the most fucked up thing happens. It becomes a bunch of men talking about if she should get an abortion. They're like,
they show this.
Would there be any?
They show this really well.
Yeah, she's like look,
their voices just blur out.
Yeah, because she is fixated on the ultrasound of the fetus, and that's what. And then they're like, well, would it be what? Do you think it would harm her if we killed this baby inside of her? Like, what? We don't even know. It could be.
Yeah, and then
what
Data's
if the baby tries to bite us?
Yeah, and Data's like, well, this is technically a form of life. I mean, we can study it. And then Worf is like, if we abort it, though, we can still study it.
Yes, that was one of my notes. Says Worf immediately is like, we can still study a dead baby. What the fuck? This episode
there's
is
not
wild.
much fun in that, though.
It's
it's just uncomfortable.
Right? And then she just says, I'm going to have this baby. And Picard says, well, then I guess this discussion is over. I respect women and I will not be canceled.
Yeah, well, of course. And it's also like, I don't know. You know how it's like when people hesitate, even with kids, but it's like right as you see the ultrasound, or it's like right as it becomes real, everybody changes their mind. Everybody's like, it's hard to.
Well, I mean, not everybody changes their mind. Some people still do terminate pregnancies, and that's perfectly okay. And
oh no, of course, it's their choice.
I mean, you couldn't
just
show
like, I feel
me
like that moment
ultrasound.
is like that her is just the reality setting getting. That's really what it was.
It looks like a fucking turtle. It looks like a goddamn Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mutating.
Forearms.
There must really be some mysterious stuff going on if a picture like that can make you feel feelings of love and protection. Because I'm just like, ugh. It's all translucent. It's translucent.
It's just like reality setting.
It looks like
that's more the feeling they're trying to capture.
Looks like a fucking water bear. Goddamn. And so then now Troi, pregnant as hell, a few hours later, comes down to the bridge. And of course, they're all walking on eggshells around her. Like, we've got to be careful. We've got a pregnant woman on the bridge. And she's like, I can still do my job. And then
but it's not like they're in combat every day.
Yeah, dude, exactly. This is just a regular every day. We're picking up plague samples and putting them in a special container so that we can study a plague. All right. This is what we do here at the Starship Enterprise. Today will be no different. And then old fucking Seymour Castle pops up on the screen, and he is wearing a hilarious costume that's got like a clear plastic screen, and he's like, Picard is like, to whom am I speaking? And he's like, because he goes, hey, you must be the Enterprise. Fucking help us out here. Let's go. And Picard's like, who do you think you're talking to? And he goes like, I'm Hester Delt, motherfucker. I'm classic character actor Seymour Castle. I've got a mustache and no beard. And so basically he goes, I'll allow you access to my computer bank so you can make sure we're not carrying anything even crazier. And then Geordi is checking out the containment system with one of his little engineering bros. And this is when Data runs into Troi, who is clearly in the process of about to have this baby. And then we get a lot of very cool Data's like, or she's like, Troi, I want you to help me, Data. And Pulaski's like, Data, she needs a warm human hand, not a cold thing robot. And by the way, I'm Pulaski, and I think you're a thing that doesn't matter. And that's something we learn about Pulaski, is she is very racist against non-biologicals. She would not be able to deal with Starfleet Academy, man. It's like, not only is there's a holographic cadet. There's a cadet that's a hologram, and that is woke as hell. I'll get to that in my recommendation. And so then Data helps Troi have the baby. He tries to distract her by talking about everything he knows about how life is created. And then he's like, I'm so fascinated by Betazoid life. Or can you hear what the baby's sensing? Can you read his thoughts? What the fuck's going on? And then security comes in, because what if this baby comes out with a knife?
Or like tentacles, or like tries to telepathically fuck them all up.
Right? That's the one I would be worried about the most, because this kid is part Betazoid, right? So what if the thing that Riker's just making eye contact with her while she has her baby? It's very strange. It's like a woman that you've had very chaste dates with is having a baby in front of you. And the security guards are just all standing there staring too.
Yep.
And it's just...
Like Pulaski's like, I understand, but give me some space.
I'm not going to disagree with the fact that you should be here, but she goes, your men can relax. It's just a baby. And there she
God, you're right. I just got to that shot. It's so weird. Yeah. It's just like zooming in on her face.
And then the shot of Riker, like anytime you get an upshot of Riker looking down like past the camera, he just looks like a fucking sadistic creep, dude.
Behind a door frame too, just not helping. That's not a good look.
For sure. And so Troy's like, I feel amazing. Then we get a great shot of the Enterprise. And this is when Pulaski pops down to the bridge, and she is like, look, this is kind of fucked. Oh, and I also must say bipedal mammal birth is disgusting. I think that the whole process is gross. I don't respect the act of human birth. Anyway, then there's a lot of tender moments. Now, Pulaski hits the bridge, and she's just like, look, man, this is kind of messed up. Troi is fine. She had a good night, but the delivery was perfect. Like, I've delivered a bunch of babies, but it was like she never had a baby. Like, her body is not that of a post-birth giving person.
Yeah, and especially at the beginning when she says it's not hurting.
Yeah, and that was was good mention. I kind of skipped over that. Yeah, while she was having the baby, she said she didn't really feel anything. There was no pain. And
she was just more in shock.
Yeah,
and everybody was just like awkwardly staring at her sweat.
So we got two things going on the Enterprise right now. Deanna Troi had this weird, rapidly gestating baby, and in 2 hours, they're going to transport the plague samples onto the ship. And then Picard goes to meet the baby, and he goes, he shows up into Troy's quarters, and he goes, "I'm actually here to meet your baby." And she turns around, and the kid like has a full head of hair and is like 10 years old, and he can talk. Picard's like, "You mean he can talk?" And she goes, "Of course he can talk. Hello, Ian." And Ian's like, "Hello, Captain Picard. It's very nice to meet you." Oh, God. What the fuck is going on with this kid?
It's just like unsettling, for sure.
Yes, aging rapidly, because typically human babies need to learn how to talk. They don't just know that after they fall out of their mom. And so while that's going on, it's just so fucking crazy that while this is going on with Deanna Troi's kid, they are also dealing with these plague samples. And it cuts to Pulaski doing more casual racism to Data. She calls him Data. And he goes, "Data, my name's Data." And she goes, "Data,
she's like, why
Data,
do you care?
What's the difference?" And what's his answer, Al? He goes,
"One
Data,
is
Data.
my name, the other is not."
Yeah,
and I was
he goes,
"Oh, that's a sweet answer."
One of them is my name. I'm not. And she is just like, "I just can't believe this back-talking robot that they got on here." And she goes, are with all your neural nets, algorithms, and heuristics, is there programming in there for bruised feelings? It's just like,
she's
dude,
just like, "Why are you butthurt?"
Yeah, she literally asked him,
annoying.
"I didn't know, do androids dream of Electric being butthurt?" From Philip K. Dick. She says that the virus is an eager beaver. It mutates really quickly. And here we go. She says she gives her okay to the captain that they can beam up the plague samples. And this is where we get a very weird sequence with a bunch of puppies. Tell us about the puppies, Al.
The puppies? What with the puppies?
Yeah. So we cut from the bridge, from Pulaski and Data in the sick bay, and then we cut to some playroom where Ian and some other kid they're playing with a bunch of puppies. And then the lady's like, "I think that he's grown since you dropped him off." And she's like, are you having a good time? And he's like, "Yeah, I thought you would," etc. It's all very strange. Troi seems to be handling all of this really well.
Oh yeah, she handles it. It's like, I don't know. I think they're like already mentally talking to each other at that point. And he's like, "I'm just gonna grow real fast."
Yeah, right. And then
it just doesn't feel weird to her.
Well, and it gets even weirder because at some point he's like, "I'm not ready to tell you why I'm here yet." So it's obviously like he's some sort of space widget or thing or something, you know? And this is hilarious. Ian asks Picard, "Have you ever played with puppies?" And Picard is like, "I don't think I've ever played with puppies." It's just like, dude, Picard, you've got to fucking live a little, man. So what have we gotten to? So basically, this kid burns himself. He experiences pain. He gets really scared. He cries. She says everything's going to be fine. And then Picard says, why are you here? And he says, "Because mommy says it's time to eat." And he goes, "No, I mean, why are you on the ship, dude?" And he's like, "I'm not ready to tell you yet." So there's absolutely nothing creepy about that. And then we get the cargo, the plague samples have been secured. And now, Al,
Yes.
I have been babbling on here. What happens in 10 forward between our new quasi-ships counselor Guinan and one Mr. Wesley Crusher?
Oh, yes. So Wesley's still hung up about, whether he wants to stay on the Enterprise or not. And basically what Guinan kind of breaks down to him that, like, it's always his choice, I guess, is what she's kind of going for.
Yeah, he's saying that people expect things of me. They expect me to go on to the academy and shit. And she's like, yeah,
and she's
but
like,
I mean,
who
really,
cares about other people? They're not
what you want.
living your life, sort of,
Yeah, you got to look out for you, man. And also Wesley proves that he knows astronomy. She's like, tell me what you see out there, man. And he's like, tells all these stars. And she goes, no, like, I mean, like, no, your future, bro.
yeah, look beyond what you see.
Yep. The big takeaway here is she says, do you always do what's expected of you? And he's like, I try. Then kablamo, we hard cut to Seymour Castle, and when Seymour Castle is having a problem, you know it, man. This guy is an actor's actor. So he says that there's growth. The plague samples are now growing, and they're not supposed to do that. And in this, and like, they're going to eventually grow so big that they fucking bust out of the containment unit. What the hell, bro?
Yeah.
And so we get back to 10
because they
forward.
had just sequenced it, right?
Well, yeah, they had just beamed it up. So they beam it up, and then like a few minutes later, Seymour Castle's like, the plague samples are growing, and they should not be doing that. They should be in like a stasis where they can't reproduce. But that's not what's happening.
Since they're reproducing, they're going to eventually break out of that cage that they made.
Yeah, it's like if you're filling something with water. You put too much water in a balloon.
I was watching the 10 forward scene just a little bit at the end.
The one, the previous one, or the...
Yeah, the previous one. She was just kind of saying, like, a wrap-up is like, the game is to know when to be selfish for yourself and then when to, like, respect others' wishes or expectations of you. It's, I don't know, it's this weird middle road.
Absolutely. And we're still not even done with them in 10 forward, because after we find out about the plague samples expanding, we see that Wesley is still talking to her. And Wesley's like, man, you never really talk about yourself. And she's like, sure I do. And he's like, everyone's curious about you. And she's like, what do they say? And he goes, that you're from Novacron. And then that's just like planting all these seeds for people to put on old message boards that existed before the internet. What's Novacron? we find out later that she's basically like a Q, but not quite. She's like somebody that had interactions with the Q.
Wasn't she in Generations, the movie?
I'm sure, but she was also in Picard, the TV show. Yeah. I'm fairly certain she was. I think.
No, she was in the movie Generation, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
When it was connecting the two times or dimensions.
She was in Generations.
She was in the time with the villain.
And she was also in, she was in all the next gen movies, I would think, except maybe the Insurrection. I don't know. It's like, it's weird to think about like a super dramatic like movie like Insurrection, and then all those events happening, and then 10 forward is still just there and people go there and stuff.
They're like, I need a drink.
So Wesley gets called to the bridge, and he doesn't even finish his Danuvian souffle. And here we go. Seymour Castle's like, what the fuck's going on with this stuff? We got Riker and Data all looking at something.
Everybody on everybody on the Enterprise is like asking him these questions of like, well, Picard says, Riker says, why don't we just shoot out the virus out of, like, jettison it out into space?
Yeah, just transport it out into space.
And the other guy's like saying they couldn't do that because, it could just catch onto another ship.
Or a planet.
We can't destroy it because it'll spread on the ship.
Yeah, it could be thousands of years from now it crashes onto a planet, right?
That too.
And yeah, because he's like, Riker's like, jettison it. And he's like, no, man, the spores will just be out there until they come into contact with another thing and it'll be disastrous results. So within 30 minutes.
And Geordi's like, can we just build a bigger cage? And the guy's like, no, we're just going to be building bigger cages forever.
We now have a ticking clock because he said within 30 minutes, it's going to pop out of this thing. And we got to figure this out. Why these specimens and not the other specimens? So they're looking at, they've been bombarding these one specimens with low levels of Eichner radiation, they find out. And then they're like, could Eichner radiation stimulate growth? And he's like, it could, but oh no, I've got some. So yes. So now there's Eichner radiation that they're detecting from somewhere on the ship.
Yeah, and Riker's like, how have you not seen this before? And the guy's like, I didn't see it before. I didn't really care to look. I mean, it's like, it's not there. Now it's there here.
And so now we get to Troi and her kid, Ian. And Ian is like, hey, Mom, so anyway, I'm the thing that's causing all the stuff on the ship, and it's time for me to leave now. And she's just like, no, you can't. And she grabs him and hugs him. And then we go to a commercial break, cut to Pulaski.
He's like, I'm going to go now.
Yeah, I'm going to peace out. And then Pulaski, Troi, and Data and Riker all come in. They're losing life signs, and then the kid just dies. Like, they make us watch Deanna Troi's kid die, and you're like, well, that was grim. And then the kid turns into a glowing light again, how he started out.
Yeah, he just did like a speed run of
human experience, yeah.
Human experience,
yes. And that's basically what the whole purpose was. And then, I can't remember if he just blinks out or if he flies away. I think he flies away. Troi has a moment where she's like staring at this light in her hand.
Yeah, they both stare at each other.
Yeah, she's staring longingly into the light, and then it flies away and it just zips out of the ship.
I think Riker asks her, right? He's like, what'd you say?
Oh yeah, we're gonna cover that in a second. Riker goes up to her and he's like, she says that Ian was right. He was the cause. And and he goes, apparently so. Riker's like, apparently your kid was trying to kill us all. What the hell? Is that how you raised him? Like, what the fuck, dude? She says, he is a life force entity. When we passed each other in space, he thought, hey, what if I could impregnate one of them stealthily, and then I can live as one of them for a couple hours and maybe risk their whole lives to a plague. He said, thank you.
Yeah, it was just not the right way to go about it.
She said, thank you, and I told him we will miss him. And I do.
Maybe some different forms of communication would be appropriate.
Well, also, they could have just, like, put the kid in a shuttle outside the ship and studied him. You know what I mean? Like, he could have talked to them for a few minutes about, like, yeah, by the way, my asshole emits Eichner radiation, and it's always a fucking thing when I'm around a plague, and I just... And this is where Crusher, Wesley Crusher, asks Picard if he can see him, and he's like, when your duties permit, in my ready room. And then we get a great little scene with Seymour Castle, and I'm really glad Seymour Castle didn't die, but I don't think he's ever in any more episodes. But he's just like, well, we did a good job. Let's hope this plague never gets out, and we can cure some people. Peace out. And then they start transporting the plague away, cut to Wesley and Picard, and he says he wants permission to stay on the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny, too. Actually, the guy's like, we may never develop an antidote.
Oh, yeah,
before like, so this is all pointless?
Yeah, even before Wesley
like, nah,
and Picard,
let's hope not.
Seymour Castle's like, yeah, fucking for all we know, we're never going to crack this nut. Anyway, bye. And Wesley's like, I want to stay on the Enterprise. Picard is like, it's not that simple. He's saying, I feel like this is where I belong. And Picard's like, I have to think on it. Get the fuck out of here. And then they kind of do this little bit on the Enterprise later where Picard is like, what if Wesley wants to stay on board? And Riker's like, what did you say? And he's like, I don't know. What do you guys say? You're going to have to help me raise this little fucking twerp.
It's like all this awkward little sarcastic back and forth, which I mean, I found very entertaining.
Worf accepts the responsibility of tucking Wesley in at night. That's pretty fucking funny. I like that a lot.
Worf just plays it completely straight. He's like, I will take over that responsibility.
I love it. And there you go. Picard asks Riker to basically be Wesley's his space dad. Yep. And Riker's like, sure, I can be his space dad. And then Picard's like, you go tell your mom at Starfleet Academy that you're fucking staying on the Enterprise. The end. And that was The Child. What did you think, Al?
It was just very simple. I don't know. I guess I have more fun memories surrounding this episode rather than like just watching it, just because of the context. It's like kind of gross, creepy.
It is gross.
That it's like
it was made in a different time, I guess.
For lack of a better word, invasive.
Yeah, very. And the fact that she's so gung-ho about it, it's like, I don't know, she was instantly brainwashed, and I guess that's what motherhood, like parenthood can do to releases all those endorphins and shit, and having to, like you said, speed running through that.
Yeah, and also, though, I guess some context was just that, like, I just remember one day my dad was just randomly scrolling through the channels and he was like, oh, cool, Star Trek, let's watch. And it was this episode.
That's funny, dude.
And we were just like, why did they put this on the air? And we were just both talking like, what a weird like episode, like how to resolve this.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And it was just like, it was a little accent. Bye-bye.
I don't remember when I saw this the first time, but yes, the fact that the being was just like, I'm an energy force. I just wanted to come and check stuff out. I just happened to have this Eichner radiation, you know?
It's like the Gene Roddenberry-esque ending.
Well, but what if there was no Eichner radiation? Would the kids still just be on the ship? That's it's like right. When two storylines that are independent of each other resolve each other, it's always kind of like, you know, it seems too coincidental.
No, it feels incomplete too. It's like they didn't really earn it, and it was just like, oh, what a quinkadink. It was like the time when they needed power for some torpedoes or something, and Kirk was like, hey, what's your necklace made out of? And she's like, oh, dilithium crystals.
This is
and
my
like,
dilithium necklace. That's what we need.
Yeah, that was like,
But yeah, so a couple things that I wanted to mention. I think it's funny when they've got a character actor who has a deadly plague and he's beaming it places. It's like, you know that something's going to... If you've got a famous character actor beaming some kind of virus, you know that's trouble. And then they could have at least gone with the 80s trope of like a man gets pregnant somehow. You know what I mean? I really think that... And they do that in... I think they... get to that later. I think like Riker is pregnant or something.
I mean, I guess there's a spoiler alert, but I mean, Data has a kid, right?
Does he? I don't think Data he has like a pregnant belly and stuff.
No, I don't think he has a pregnant belly, but it's like a clone carbon copy and it's like a girl and
oh Jesus,
he goes through all these emotions.
I don't remember
and shit.
any of that. I just remember lore.
Really? Yeah.
Well, we'll cross that.
Data has a kid.
We'll cross that bridge. I was like, huh. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, how many essay committing sprites do you give this episode? How many sparkly life forces?
I feel like we were more enthusiastic talking about the little bits at the beginning and the end of the episode. And like what was happening with Wesley and stuff compared to like all this weird pregnant shit. And then like the plague, been there, done that. And I don't know. I feel it's like 2 out of 5.
Whoa! Starting the season off with really a fucking 2. That's one of the lowest scores you've ever given anything.
I think I associate the memory with it better. Like, I think it's funnier thinking about me like a little boy and a dad being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is this on TV? Like, what a strange plot, rather than like the actual episode itself. I don't know. It just didn't really. There is some weird sci-fi shit and stuff, and like in the unknown, but I think Pulaski's a bit rude. She's just super rude.
You caught yourself. That's funny. Good job. You're woke. And so the thing that I just got now that I kind of enjoy about the episode is that we're seeing two different stages of childhood development, and because we get the age 0 through 10 or whatever with Ian. And then we've got Wesley at this big part of childhood when you're like transitioning into being an adult and having your own agency and making your own decisions. And the fact that he's like making a decision that goes against, I still give it a 2.5. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I was like, that's clever though.
2.5,
that frames it a little better.
But yeah, it's thematically, at least Wesley's shit fits in because there's really 3 stories. You know, there's the plague, there's Ian and Troi, and then there's the Wesley just kind of deciding he wants to stick around on the biggest and best ship. Oh, do you want to stay on the Enterprise? Do you want to stay on the flagship of the most powerful Federation of planets?
You know, the ship that universe? Everyone talks about every single week after reports come out.
Kids your age that are going to the academy, when they're packing up their rooms to go to the academy, many of them have Starship Enterprise posters on their holograms and scale models that they've built.
Why would you want to leave?
But yeah, so that's what
it's like if you're at the company you want to work at,
you know, and
they're like, do you want to go to college?
There's like, so many holodecks.
You have the job.
So many holodecks. Yeah, exactly. You want to go to college when you already have the job. That's great, dude. That's like if a fucking high school football player got signed out of high school and they played in the pros for a couple years and they're like, okay, so now you're gonna go to college and do college ball now, right? Like you're gonna go sell your likeness to EA Sports. But yeah, so that was what we thought of The Child. A 2 from Al, a 2.5 from me, which brings us to one final segment of this first episode of our new season. Captain, Adam and Al are recommending things. I repeat, Adam and Al are recommending things. What you got for us to recommend, Al?
Let's see.
Mine is very predictable. If you know that we recorded this first episode on Saturday, January 17th, I bet our intrepid Trek fans are going to know what I'm going to recommend.
Well, there's been a lot of new TV coming out, new SVU, new Abbott Elementary. I would recommend watching, I guess, a holiday movie. It's a little late, but Klaus.
Klaus?
Klaus.
What's that about?
Know, something like that. It's like just this animated film on Netflix, and it's kind of a mishmash between 3D animation and 2D, where it's like they do like 2D details on like 3D models. So it looks really clean and like nice.
Cool.
But it's kind of like this holiday thing about how the legend of Santa came to be. And like this postman needs like a certain amount of mail to get out of this like shitty village that he got assigned to. So he makes up this whole story and he's like, hey, if you write Santa a letter and put a postage stamp on it, this guy will give you gifts. And like what turns out to be a scam ends up being, you know, like the gift of Christmas, you know, feels and all that. But it's nice. It's pretty heartfelt.
Is it like famous people in it kind of thing?
Yeah. What's his? Actually, I'll look up the names.
Is it KL or CL?
Yeah, KLAUS. And I think Jason Schwartzman.
Oh, this is from 2019. Yeah, okay.
And then J.K. Simmons is another lead too.
Rashida Jones, Will Sasso.
Yeah, Rashida Jones.
Norm Macdonald did a voice. Wow.
Yeah, he does.
Lots of comedians.
It's like one of his last roles.
Cool. All right.
Rest in peace.
So yeah, Klaus.
Joan Cusack stands out a lot. Like her voice is like instantly recognizable.
Who fucking directed this? I'm just looking at something here. Nothing that I've seen. It's somebody
Carlos Martinez Lopez.
Yeah, they
and Sergio Pablos.
I think this is their first feature. They did a lot of animation department stuff. Well, cool. And I am going to recommend Starfleet Academy. At least
how do you think?
Well, so I've only watched the first episode, and I think that I love it for the same reason that I like Star Trek or Star Wars: The Acolyte, because it's really gonna make a lot of the worst people angry. Because it's so fucking woke. It's just if you thought Star Trek Discovery was woke, with all of its gay characters and stuff, this is like they have created new things to be woke about, and I fucking love it, dude. It's pretty funny. They are just like the Klingon is a pacifist, and they introduce a bunch of new races, and it takes place in the Discovery timeline. So it takes place like 1,000 years in the future.
Okay. There we go. We'll give it that.
And yeah, so it's good because the Holly Hunter is the lead, and she's a good actress, and she plays like the Chancellor of Starfleet Academy. And since Starfleet Academy, it's like reopening after 100 years of being closed because something happens in Discovery where they jump 1,000 years in the future. And when they get there, they find out that 120 years before they landed in the future, something called the burn happened. And it's all the dilithium in the universe exploded at the same time. Like most of the dilithium in the universe exploded. So every Starfleet ship exploded and everybody died that was on it. So most of Starfleet was lost. And then since there's no dilithium, they can't travel at warp. So everybody was all separated. And it took like 120 years and Discovery showing up to kind of get everything back together. And now they're starting this, the whole thing. It's the Starfleet Academy, and the characters are good, the acting is good, and yeah, people are going to be so mad about it, and I hope it runs for a long time. And it is very much like Starfleet Kids, but they trick you and you're like, oh, so it's just going to be like classroom stuff or whatever. Well, part of the Starfleet Academy is it has a ship. And so,
I mean, I'm sure there's drama.
Well, but I mean, like it is Starfleet Academy, but it's also a ship. So they're still going to go out and do Star Trek missions. They'll just be.
How do they fly now?
They'll just be teaching the kids. They figured it out. They have a new way to do warp.
Okay.
Or they found dilithium, that wasn't affected by the burn, and they know how to have it not explode. I can't remember how Discovery wrapped that up. But yeah, so watch Klaus. So if you don't want to watch it now, put a thing in your phone for 10 months from now when Christmas comes around, 2026. We should say Happy New Year as well to everybody. New Year,
2026.
We got back to it a little bit later than I thought, but yeah, Happy New Year. And next week, we will be back to talk about an episode titled Where Silence Has Lease. Where Silence has Lease. And thank you for coming back to Trek in the Valley, Al. It was fucking great seeing you again, man.
It's a trip.
Glad we got this figured out, and we'll catch up with you more next week. Bye, everybody.
Peace, everyone. Bye.
147. Trek in the Valley is brought to you by Adam Ordall-Quinnell and Al Hirt. The theme was produced by Al. The episodes are engineered by Adam. You can email the podcast at trekinthevalley@gmail.com, or you can search for us on Bluesky and Facebook as Trek in the Valley and follow us over there. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you do on your podcast apps. It really helps us out. And never forget, always explore strange new fucking worlds.